Alright guys, so today I'm going to tell you how to flush out an external oil cooler on your car. The car I'm working on specifically is a Infiniti Q50 Red Sport, and it has a air to oil cooler up front. Little backstory about this car. This is the old motor that blew up. So basically when I reused the oil cooler, it had very fine bearing material in it. And oil coolers for these are pretty expensive, so reusing it is going to be the most cost-effective option, but you don't want all those contaminants in your engine. So today I'm going to teach you how to actually flush out that oil cooler so you stop getting bearing material in your oil changes that make you nervous, even though your car is completely fine. So materials you need, whatever oil filter you use that's preferred by you, which for me is this STP Extra Life one. I use Pennzoil Ultra Platinum full synthetic oil in this car usually, so that's going to be what we do after we finish the job and actually refill it with oil to what we normally do. Other than that, I picked up this oil at Walmart. You can really get any kind of cheap oil, O'Reilly's brand, whatever the case may be, and then get a cheaper oil filter because you're really only going to have this oil in the car for like 10 minutes. As you're flushing the system. But anyways, I got this stuff here. It's technically for transmission oil coolers, but I think it's going to work good on our regular oil cooler because they're essentially the same when you think about it. So here's what it says: it removes grease, dirt, sludge, and metal shavings. So that's what we want to get out of that oil cooler. So we're going to flush it with this. And then we're going to move to the ATF, and we're going to pump ATF through the cooler continuously until it starts to come out clean. And then we'll fill our car up with our cheap oil, slap on our cheap oil filter, and we're going to put in the liquid moly engine flush to get out any debris that this dislodged and any of the ATF that's still in the system. And ATF is totally fine in small amounts in your engine. A lot of people actually use ATF to clean engines instead of like a typical engine flush kind of deal, or for like cleaning out debris from a fresh engine rebuild. People use ATF, so it's totally going to be fine. Don't worry about that. So it's going to be this, and then this throughout the whole car, and then we'll fill it up with the fresh oil. Let's get it. All right, as you guys can see, we got our inlet to our oil cooler right here, and then the other line is actually right here. That's where it goes back into the oil filter housing area. So I've attached a spare hose onto there that'll come right here and drain into this pan for the stuff we flush out. So now we just got to find a way to get this adapter on the Kooler Kleen bottle onto this line right here. All right, the solution we found was actually to cut off the tip that the Kooler Kleen bottle comes with. And then I just wrapped this in electrical tape so that it's a nice snug fit inside of there. All right, y'all, so we used the full can. Honestly, this stuff, I'm really impressed with this stuff. It came out under like really high pressure. You can clearly tell it has a lot of detergents in it that are gonna break things free in there. But yeah, our plan worked great. We put it in here and it shot out here just like it should. As far as the flushing it with the ATF goes, I don't think it's a bad idea to do that at all, but the fluid was coming out pretty dang clear towards the end of the flush, so I'm actually feeling pretty confident in it. I'm not going to do the ATF. I just blew through here multiple times to get out the rest of the large liquids, and then of course we're going to do the engine flush to get the rest of the detergents out of the engine with the next oil change. But yeah, otherwise it was a success, so I'm going to go ahead and button up all those hoses back up and clamps and get onto the flush. All right, we got everything buttoned up underneath. In goes the engine flush. I've never used this stuff before, but Liquid Moly does make some great products. I use their oil in my BMW, and it actually, you know, I don't think it's placebo, but my lifter tick on my BMW actually quieted down once I started using Liquid Moly Top Tech 5W30 in it. So it's really good stuff. But yeah, there it goes. Then we'll fill it up a little. All right, she's running now with the engine flush in and the cheap oil. She's sounding super healthy, no leaks. So per the instructions, you should let the engine run for 10 minutes and then shut it off, drain the oil, and change the oil filter. All right, guys, we're draining the oil that had the engine flush in it. Obviously, I mean, it looks super clean. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I expected it to look dirtier because it's flushing out contaminants. Although this is a low mile motor, this only has 50,000 miles on it. But we're basically using that to ensure that we got the detergents out of it from the Kooler Kleen bottle. So yeah, but it's coming out clean, so we're gonna refill it with the good stuff.